Welcome to Monologues by Hassie, where I'm going to be dropping unsolicited brain dumps from the depths of my grey matter. I'll talk about life, money, society, and self-development, plus whatever else lies up there, whilst hopefully not getting cancelled in the process. When it comes to human pursuits, both individual and collective, the way I see it is that in a vast majority of these situations, it's what we finish that determines our success, not inherently what we start. And I think it's a very easy trap to fall into, and I know this personally because I'm the type of person who has picked up so many things. I've been known for juggling too many things at once. And there have been many points in my life where I've picked up things and I've subsequently dropped them without having finished them. Now, one might make the argument that technically you can never finish learning anything because the body of knowledge available to us in almost any domain far exceeds the capacity that any human can learn in a lifetime, which is why it is easy, very easy to spend your whole life studying a single subject, which is why we have academics studying all sorts of subjects, because even for them, after having dedicated decades of their careers to it, there is never an end. But when we look at something like a continuous body of knowledge, the way we conceptualize finishing as humans is by taking a chunk of what is there to do and we break it into a discrete chunk. And it might be learning a skill so you get to a particular proficiency. It might be learning a language so you can go and order a croissant in France, speaking French. And that might be your benchmark. And that's the goal you want to get up to. And that is something discrete. And when you finish, when you hit that target, when you hit that benchmark, it doesn't need to be massive. That's when you derive a benefit. Because if you know that your goal, and for me, my actual goal will be to go to France and to order things at restaurants and to be able to talk to customer service staff, to get help, to explore their culture and have a better experience. I know that if I hit 20% of that goal, there is no benefit. 30% of that goal, there's no benefit. 40% of that goal, no benefit. 90% of that goal, no benefit. If I set that benchmark capacity where I need to be able to communicate to these people at a basic level, and I don't get to 100% of that goal if I don't finish it, then I don't really derive benefit from it. And I've picked up so many things in my life and not finished them. I realize now more than ever that all the successes I've had so far are from what I have finished. Now, I set goals at the start of this year, and one of these goals was to hit 6 figures in my investment account. And I did. So for the first time in my life, I can look at my brokerage account and I have 6 figures in shares. Now, that did not happen overnight. It took 3 years, but it's one of these things where I personally believe that the share market will drop significantly in the next year or two. We will go into a recession. The value of my portfolio could halve or even worse more, right? It could be, the worst case scenario, it could be like the Great Recession, right? Where the value of what I have in my brokerage could be significantly reduced. But here's the thing, because I've hit that goal, because I've hit that discrete goal, I now know that I can achieve it again. It's one of these things where I've also started running, and I ran almost 18 kilometers one day continuously. And now I am confident that I can run that same distance again. And it's because I hit a goal and it's because I finished it that I feel confident to be able to do that again. But imagine if it was my goal to run 18 kilometers and I only ever made it 70% of the way. Let's say I only ran 14 or 15 kilometers each time and I never made it to 18. Then I would never be confident to run 18 because I haven't hit it before. So when we take something that's continuous and we break it into discrete goals, and all of us have this. I know that chances are you listening to this right now, you have a handful of projects that you've started and are lying around and that you haven't picked up in a while. Pick some of those things up if you think they're still worth it and do them. If you don't think they're worth it, axe them completely. Free up that mental energy. If you've got a book that you've read halfway, finish that book, because I guarantee when you get to the end of it, even if you don't particularly enjoy that book, you will free up some mental energy knowing that you have finished it. So my prompt to those of you listening to this today is, what can you finish? And the next time you try to start something, make sure you finish something before you take that new thing on, because I guarantee you will feel better. And by finishing whatever it is that you need to finish, only then will you derive the benefit from having started that task in the first place. It is a falsehood that it is what we start that leads to success. It is very often, when it comes to individual and collective pursuits, it's what we finish. And with that, I wish you great success with all your endeavors. You've just made it through another episode of Monologues by Hassie. It brings me great pleasure to know that you made it to the end. To listen to more episodes, subscribe on your favorite podcast app or visit monologuesbyhassie.com. Thanks for swinging by.